أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. We seek refuge in God from the accursed Satan. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In the name of God, the compassionate, the merciful. وصلى الله على محمد وعلى آله وصحبه المنتجبين. May Allah's blessings be upon Muhammad and his blessed family and the chosen companion. Dearest brothers, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. When the month of Ramadan ends, which can be 30 days or 29 days, depending on the sighting of the new moon, then the following day, which is the first day of Shawwal, is called EID AL-FITR. EID AL-FITR means the festival in which the fast is broken, meaning one can no longer fast. On that day in particular, one cannot fast. After EID AL-FITR, you can resume fasting for missed fasts, recommended fasts, whatever you wish. But on that day, which is the first day of Shawwal, one cannot fast. Very well. On that day, we have certain obligations. The first obligation is to pay Zakatul Fitr. Zakatul Fitr, it is a charity that must be paid. In the amount of 3 kilos of the food you consume the most. Wheat, barley. Corn, rice. How much do 3 kilos cost? Let's say, if for example 1 kilo costs 10 pesos. For each person living in your house and under your care, you must pay 3 kilos for their maintenance. For example, I have a family of 5 people. So 5 times 3 kilos will be 15 kilos. 15 kilos for 10 pesos, 150 pesos. To whom should it be paid? A Muslim, believer, Shia. The closer the better. If you can do it in your city, province, country, or somewhere nearby, that's better. If not, you can also send it to another country to be paid to a Shia Muslim. Very well, that is after sunrise on the first day after this Ramadan. This is mandatory. And if you perform the recommended prayer of that day, already do it before the prayer. Very well. There is a prayer that can be done after sunrise before noon. When Imam Mahdi comes, that prayer during the time of Imam Mahdi is mandatory. But now that we are in the time when the Imam is hidden, this prayer cannot be performed as mandatory. It is not. It is recommended. So the scholars say, you do it with the intention of the recommended prayer for now. When the sun rises, you can perform that prayer. It is recommended that you do it collectively in the mosque. But there are people who do not have a mosque nearby. Can they perform that prayer individually? Yes. In this video, we are going to teach you how to perform this prayer very well. Let's see what is recommended. It is recommended after the sun rises, you break the fast, pay the zakat, the alms, and then you will perform the prayer. How is the prayer performed? It is a very simple prayer, but pay attention. There are many recommended things before this prayer of tahlilat, of tasbihat. Now, we are not going to go into those details. We are only going to look at the part of the prayer. There are thousands of recommended things. But now we are only going to focus on the special prayer part of the day, Eid al-Fitr. Well, this prayer consists of 2 cycles. In 2 cycles of prayer, it starts like this. Allahu Akbar. Recite Surah Al-Fatiha. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahmanir Rahim. Maliki Yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. سورة الإخلاص. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. Now, qunut. In that position, you can make any supplication. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Allahumma rzuqna tawfiq at-ta'at. Any supplication, even in Spanish, can be made. God, give me a good, handsome husband with a lot of money, with a Mercedes-Benz car. Let him be the president. God, give me the best woman in the world. Whatever you want. God, give me 12 children. Whatever you want, you can say it in Spanish. in Persian, in Turkish, in Aztec, in Quechua, in whatever language, the kunut can be done in any language. But there is a special recommended supplication. First, you perform kunut and say Allahu Akbar. Again, you raise your hands for kunut. The second kunut. Then the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth kunut. That means each time you do kunut, Allahu Akbar, you do kunut, Allahu Akbar. 5 kunut. When you finish 5 kunut, you go to ruku. Subhana Rabbi al-Azim wa bihamdih. Normal, like a morning prayer. You stand up. Sam'allahu liman hamida. You go to prostrate. Subhana Rabbi al-A'la wa bihamdih. Allahu Akbar. Subhana Rabbi al-A'la wa bihamdih. Allahu Akbar. You stand up, again the same, just like before. Surah Al-Fatiha, Surah Al-Ikhlas, and 5 kunut. In each kunut, make the supplication you wish. Allahu Akbar. The supplication you wish. Allahu Akbar. This time it's not 5, it's 4. In the first cycle, 5 kunut. In the second cycle, it's 4 kunut. This time instead of 5, it's 4. I will correct it. When you finish the 4 kunut, you go to ruku, bowing, prostration, and you finish the prayer normally, like a morning prayer. That's all. But what is the supplication? I will recite it to you and explain it. The supplication that is recommended to do is this. Allahumma ahlal kibriya'i wal 'azama. Oh God, you are of greatness and splendor. Wa ahlal judi wal jabarut. You are the one of great generosity and a person who has dominion and greatness. Jabarut is the character of an omnipotent king whom everyone obeys. وَأَهْلَ الْعَفْوِ وَالرَّحْمَةِ, who is of forgiveness and mercy. وَأَهْلَ التَّقْوَى وَالْمَغْفِرَةِ, you are of mercy and compassion. You have much compassion for us and you ask for our compassion. وَالْمَغْفِرَةِ, and also for forgiveness. So here begins the request. أسألك, I ask you, بحق هذا اليوم, I ask you by the greatness of that day. الذي جعلته للمسلمين عيدا ولمحمد صلى الله عليه وآله ذخرا وشرفا وكرامة ومزيدا. God, I ask you by the greatness of that day, which you have established as a religious festival for the Muslims who fasted in this Ramadan, and you have also made that day for Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his family as a repository of blessing, as a day of remembrance and honor, and more. And tusalli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. May you bless Muhammad and his family, and do for me. أن تدخلني في كل خير أدخلت فيه محمدا وآل محمد. Introduce me, bring me into every blessing that you have introduced to Muhammad and his family. وأن تخرجني من كل سوء أخرجت منه محمدا وآل محمد صلواتك عليه وعليهم. اللهم إني أسألك خير ما سألك به عبادك الصالحون وأعوذ بك مما استعاذ منه عبادك المخلصون. I, God, ask you for all the good things that the blessed servants, the righteous servants, have asked of you. I ask for all of that. What have they asked you for? I ask for everything. A supplication. For those who no longer want to name many things, God, I ask you for all the good things that the kind-hearted have asked of you. And I take refuge in you from all evil things that the good, your servants, have taken refuge in you from those evil things. Any bad thing? And that's it. That's how the supplication is. It's a short but perfect supplication. May God bless you. After that supplication, it is highly recommended that, when you do it collectively, there are 2 sermons, meaning 2 talks that are obligatory after this, that the imam must do. In a mosque, the imam must give 2 talks, and the 2 talks are part of the prayer. So you must sit and listen the 2 sermons that are delivered in the mosque. And, well, it's important that you recite it not in a low voice, but in a voice that can be heard. Well, this is everything about that prayer. It is recommended to recite Surah Al-A'la in the first cycle instead of Surah Al-Ikhlas, Surah Al-A'la. And in the second cycle, it is recommended to recite Surah Al-Shams. Well, this is a bit difficult for the brothers. It is recommended to break the fast on that day, break it in the morning, with dates. It is recommended to perform ghusl, and there are many supplications at the time of performing ghusl where you ask God for spiritual purification. It is recommended that when you say Allahu Akbar, you raise both hands. Also after the Maghrib prayer, Isha, and after the morning, noon, and afternoon prayers, it is recommended to say these Allahu Akbar takbirat as follows. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, La ilaha illallah, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar walillahi alhamd, Allahu Akbar ala ma hadana. You enter the mosque before prayer, everyone is doing takbir. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, La ilaha illallah, Allahu Akbar, walillahi alhamd, Allahu Akbar ala ma hadana. Recite it several times. And well, inshallah, may God bless you and do not forget us in your prayers. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. In another video, apart from this, we will do just the supplication.